Imagine getting a call at 4 a.m. that the one person who truly saw you, flaws, fears, and all, is gone forever. At 89, a legendary filmmaker sat in stunned silence, whispering, "I didn't even know she was sick." They'd shared 56 years, 9 movies, and a bond that outlived romance, scandal, and time itself. This isn't just a Hollywood story. It's about a love too tangled to last, yet too stubborn to fade. They met in 1969 on a Broadway stage. He was the anxious genius from New York, casting a play that would change everything. Dozens of actresses came and went, polished, predictable, forgettable. Then she walked in. 23, sun-kissed from the West Coast, dressed like she'd raided 3 different closets, talking in loops that made perfect nonsense. He later called her a burst of light in a dim room. What he didn't say aloud was how she terrified him. She was everything he wasn't: open, fearless, alive without overthinking. He hired her instantly, not just for the part, but because the thought of her walking away felt unbearable. Weeks later, they were a couple. Months after that, she'd moved into his world. Friends bet it wouldn't last 6 months. He dissected life like a script. She lived it like a daydream. He hoarded worries. She collected moments. Yet somehow it clicked. Those first 2 years were the closest he ever came to peace. Walking through the park, she'd stop at a puddle or a pigeon and grin like it was magic. He'd never known joy could be that simple. She looked at him, not the famous comedian, not the director, just the scared kid underneath, and made him believe he was enough. But cracks formed fast. He wanted to shape her, refine her, make her fit his vision. He'd correct her words, suggest better books, nudge her style toward something more polished. She'd smile, nod, then do the opposite, wearing wilder outfits, reading what she loved, staying gloriously herself. It infuriated him. It also kept him hooked. She was the one thing he couldn't direct. The fights weren't loud. They were surgical. He'd pick apart her choices with cold logic. She'd blink and say, "You're thinking again." And she was right. It drove him wild. If this story's already pulling at you, please share it. Someone out there needs to hear that real love can be messy, painful, and still worth it. The end started in 1971. A major director was casting a crime epic. She got an audition through a friend. He brushed it off. "It's not you. Stay with my play." But something in her stirred. She went anyway, landed the role without even reading the script fully. "I needed the work," she said later. Truth was, she needed air. When she told him she'd be gone for months, missing his project, he didn't shout. He froze. "You're picking them over us," he said. She left anyway. And the fracture began. While she filmed across the country, sparks flew with her intense co-star. He was raw emotion where the filmmaker was calculated distance. She didn't act on it then, but the shift was real. Back in New York, she returned changed, bolder, surer, no longer his eager student. She'd worked with legends, been part of something huge. His world suddenly felt smaller. They tried. She starred in his next films. But the balance was gone. She wasn't his creation anymore. She was a force. By 1972, it was over. Who ended it depends on who you ask. What's clear, she was exhausted from being a work in progress instead of a partner. He loved the idea of her more than the chaos of the real her. You'd think that was the finale. Clean break. Move on. But 5 years later, he wrote a movie about them. Not inspired by. About them. Every quirk, every fight, every stolen moment from their life together. He insisted she star. Had her wear her actual clothes from their dating days. The world called it a masterpiece. She called it strange and sore. But she did it. Trusted his lens, even when it twisted their truth. The film won everything, rewrote their messy split into something wistful and wise. He turned pain into art. She let him God after that. The romance was dead. The collaboration? Just getting started. Over the next 4 decades, she appeared in 8 more of his films. 42 years of showing up on set, him directing, her performing, both pretending the past wasn't humming between takes. Friends say there was a silent pact. She could live her life, love others, be free. But on screen, she was his. He needed that spark no one else could give. Every other actress was measured against her. None matched that her long, rocky romance with that intense co-star suffered for it. He wanted marriage, permanence. She couldn't fully give it. Part of her stayed tethered to the filmmaker's orbit, his scripts, his vision, his pull. How do you compete with a ghost who already lost? If you're still here, hit subscribe. We're diving deep into more hidden Hollywood truths. Then came the storm. In 2014, old allegations against him resurfaced, damaging claims from decades prior. Hollywood turned fast. Stars distanced. Projects vanished. By 2018, he was untouchable. Everyone walked away. Everyone except her. She posted 13 words that changed her life. He's my friend. I still believe him. The backlash was brutal. Roles dried up. Friends ghosted. Articles tore her apart. She doubled down years later. I'm proud. Beyond measure. Dismissed the outrage. Refused to bend. He never asked her to defend him. She did it anyway. After 50 years of knowing him, his best, his worst, she looked at the accusations and stood firm. Right or wrong, it was her choice. And it cost her dearly. In 2024, her health faded quietly. She canceled appearances, lost weight, kept it hidden. On an October morning in 2025, paramedics rushed to her home. She was 79, gone suddenly. No warning. When he heard, he reportedly whispered, "How didn't I know?" He'd been lost in his own exile, blind to her battle. At the small funeral, he arrived frail, masked, clutching a framed photo from 1970, them laughing on set, young and unguarded. Witnesses said he broke. Not quiet tears, full, wrenching sobs. The man who intellectualized everything couldn't intellectualize this. He'd written her a letter. Long, raw, confessions he'd never voiced. Too late. She never read it. In the days after, he started talking, privately, to the few still listening. I was too controlling. She was too free. I tried to own her light. That's not love. About their big film, I gave her the statue. She gave me my soul. About her loyalty, she stood when it ruined her. I never asked. She just was her. Their last call months earlier. She'd phoned rare for her. Sighed, no regrets. Not us, not the work. Not defending you. It was what it was. Simple, unanalyzed. Pure her. At 89, facing the end, his clearest thought. I should have let her be. Just loved the miracle of her. 56 years. 9 films. 1 impossible connection. She was his muse, his mirror, his defender, the one he couldn't keep. He was her first big love, her artistic home, the man she never fully left. She dated legends, never married, stayed truest to the one who let her go. He moved through relationships, but none erased the girl who saw his damage and stayed until she couldn't. Their story defies boxes. Not romance, not friendship, something deeper, messy, real, unfinished. She saw every crack in him and didn't flinch. Gave his work heart. Stood alone when the world demanded she walk. In a town of illusions, she was the rare truth. loving someone exactly as they are. If this moved you, like, subscribe, share. Tell us below, was her loyalty brave or blind? Some loves don't fit. They just endure. And sometimes, that's the most powerful kind.